So, in today's video, I want to talk about a podcast that I just recently listened to. I listen to so many podcasts. Actually, not a lot of podcasts. I listen to the same few, but I listen to them religiously. Anyway, there was a good podcast by Ed Milet and Charles Duhigg. It was the other day, I think they released it, but Charles Duhigg wrote an amazing book called The Power of Habit. If you haven't read it, you definitely should. It talks all about how pretty much habits work and how it affects our lives and with the brain. So anyway, I was just starting to think about, my own life and my own lifestyle and the habits that I have. And in the podcast episode, they talk about how exercise and how do you really start an exercise program and stick with it. Now, I think a lot of people, they kind of overwhelm themselves. Like they're like, I have to go at least an hour. I have to do this. I have to do that. And it's the expectations that we set in our minds. And afterwards, like you're supposed to feel great after a workout. Like it's the most amazing feeling. Like if you do a workout right, you just come home, you feel so accomplished. And so that's really the reward, and you have results and people give you compliments, all these things that are making it more and more, drilling it into your brain that it's a habit and that I need to work out because it makes me feel a certain way. And when we do it wrong and we work out wrong and, it doesn't become a habit because, we feel like crap, they did a good example. Like if you try to work out before, maybe you go to work or something, or if you have kids, like you're rushing and it messes up your whole day and, you're like yelling at the kids because you're in a rush, and it's just like, that is setting up the brain, like letting your brain know, like working out in the morning isn't a good thing. Like it doesn't work for me. Like this is horrible. So I think before you even really start an exercise program, like pause and set the expectations low. Like you want to have a reward at the end of this workout and having an accomplished feeling. Like I don't even know. I didn't like looking back on my own journey. Like I started off at Planet Fitness. I was on the ellipticals for 30 minutes, 5 days a week. I can't tell you how I made that program up. Like I had no experience in the gym. Like this was my first ever gym experience. The most I've really worked out was like maybe organized sports in elementary school and high school gym. Other than that, like this was my first real experience right after high school, and I was like, you know what? Like I need to lose weight. I don't feel good about myself, and I'm just going to go for a half an hour and I'm going to sweat, and that's it. And like having something so basic like that is really going to help you start to build this into a lifestyle. Like I think it's great to have like on your Instagram, like you look up all these people that have amazing results, like they have 6-pack abs, 10% body fat, and like you follow their nutrition plan and then you fall off because, wow, that's too hard. And the power of habit really talks about, there's really 3 steps to it. So you have like a cue and a reward. Those are like the 2 big ones. At the end is the reward. So when you do a workout or something and the reward is bad, it trains your brain into thinking like, let's try to avoid this. So if you begin to have simple workouts, like kind of like the program I mentioned or something that I did, is, just keep the ball rolling, get the momentum going. So just go to the gym, even if it's for 15 minutes, 20 minutes. Be like, I'm going to go to the gym and I'm going to walk for 10 minutes. If you do this, so you do it for one day, and then the next day, the same thing. And you just slowly build your momentum. And don't worry about having a, like, yes, you want to have goals, but I think some people are so focused on the goals that even detracts from your results. So if you are going to say, like, I'm going to make this a lifestyle, I want to change the way I look and feel. So if you go into it like that and you have your expectations low and you just start with something basic like walking, and you slowly build it onto your program, then you can finally build in weight training, high intensity interval training, which is popular, all those things. You will eventually get there. But in the beginning, you want to build a habit. So, what I want you to take away from this is, number one, you want to keep things basic when you're starting an exercise journey. And two, you want to look at your habits and things that you can improve on, because based on this podcast, like, a lot of the things we think we're thinking, but we're on autopilot. Our brain is going through our habits and our daily habitual activities. So you're not really even thinking. So look at your habits and see what things you can make better. And if you are totally new and you're thinking about starting an exercise program, I recommend starting as slow as you can and just figure out something that you know you can do no matter what, and hit that target day after day. And eventually you will want to expand on what you're doing. So I will leave the podcast down in the comment section below. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for more content.